Hey YouTube, it's the Outcast here. What's up? How's it going? Welcome back to episode number 2. I know episode number 1 was pretty long, detailed, not super professional, but if you bear with me, I'm still learning here. And, well, if you're here from the West Coast Sim Racing group on Twitch, welcome. And if you're not, I suggest you check them out. They're the community I've been fortunate enough to drive online with and have a great time after hours on the week. It's hard to find groups in North America, drivers in North America, that drive, consistently with honor and who are just looking to have a good time. So if you're looking for that kind of group, you should check them out. That's West Coast Sim Racing on Twitch. You can follow them and check them out. It's really cool there. You'll catch me on there driving with that community as well. So anyway, we're here today in China. Practice 1. We're about to get out on track. You saw me going through the setup there. The AI is deceivingly low downforce on this track. I don't know if that's correct. This is not a strong track for me, so I'm really just trying to make sure I sort of am able to keep up with the AI in the straights, because that's really the biggest weakness usually is the straight line speed. But we're out on track for the first time in China here, and just trying to get a feel for the car again, remembering from episode 1 in Australia that the car felt really well balanced, and haven't really figured out what's wrong with it yet, again, other than the driver maybe, and just overall lack of power. But we're trying to keep the energy in the tires here, get the tires warmed up, get a feel for the car. We've moved along now to the beginning of that opening lap, and you can see it's a little bit lazy getting into the straight here, but we're pushing along. Again, it's just a practice session, so we're taking our time and just trying to get a feel for the car, get that front end pulled in nicely there. And we're up on the Delta, but I'm not super worried about that. We're missing some apexes. I'm not super worried about that yet, just because this is just first practice session, and just want to make sure I'm feeling my rig. Of course, is brand new as well, so I'm still trying to learn with that, get a feel for the car. And China is not, again, like I mentioned, not a strong track for me, so not pushing super hard here, just trying to get the car around the track, see if I can get a feel for what's going on, see if I'm, especially with this new car, I might have to change something on the setup. So, I'm just pushing myself around the track and not really trying to overdo it. Little snap of oversteer there, and I'm, you can see I'm clearly missing almost every single apex. And, yeah, I'm just lightly introducing myself to the track in the car. But so far, so good. I mean, it's been a solid lap, in all honesty. And even breaking into this final chicane, it's pretty solid looking, and a little wiggle on the outside there. Again, missing the apex, but I'm not worried about it right now. I'm just trying to get a sense of the car. I'm not trying to really go that fast, but yeah, we'll skip ahead then to the end of the practice session. It went well. Other than the first lap, I think I didn't cross the line with a positive delta, but everything else went well. The telemetry's looking healthy. The tire life is not looking great, but the track time was looking well. I was noticing that the front end wasn't really pulling in that well, but I didn't want to increase the wing because I'm, again, really sensitive about the straight line speed. And keeping the downforce pretty low. Driving low downforce is actually pretty weak for me. So yeah, it's good practice to try to keep up with the AIs. You can see there, P13 though. For just the practice session, just throwing the car around early in the practice session. So yeah. All right, moving on to qualifying now. Of course, being new to this YouTube thing, I thought this next episode might be more concise and a little bit shorter and more fun for you guys, but of course, I forgot that China's a sprint weekend. So, here we are getting the car set up for sprint qualifying, and yeah, if you can remember, I made those few adjustments to the setup and just kind of want to make sure you guys can see what I'm working with here. Again, let me know in the chat if you're seeing anything in the setup or anything in my driving that, you know, you're clearly seeing wrong, because you know, I'm really new at this. I'm still trying to learn the car. I can get around the track. I feel like I can push it. I'm just not all that fast. So, you know, let me know in the comments if you know, that setup looks crazy, or if there's something better I could do. And yeah, we got to get out on track here for sprint qualifying. Coming out of the track, I don't know why they always bring you out on hot lap mode, but I like to turn that down. Making sure I'm trying to stay clear of the AI here as well. And again, let me know another thing. I would love to ask you guys in the comments, like, how do you deal with the AI on these, on these in and out laps for qualifying? Because, man, I just don't understand them. They'll race up behind you, and, you know, it turns out they're not even on a lap, and then they'll just kind of stick by you. Or like right here is a good example. There's our teammate Jarno Otmir in our beautiful black and white car there. And so I'm not really sure how to manage them. I just kind of defer to trying to let them go by, because I never know what the hell they're gonna do. But yeah, I'm really just trying to get my tires warmed up on this lap, trying to get a feel for this low fuel situation, and the track is a little bit more rubbered in now. And yeah, of course I'm on the mediums here because I wanted to do the mediums first for my sort of burn lap, my banker lap, as they call it, and then I would go out on the softs for my final lap. That's sort of the plan here. Again, trying to do some weaving here, get some heat into the tires. And yeah, so this is going to be sort of the banker lap, just try to get around the track, make sure I've got some, you know, a half decent representative time of some pace, so that I can, you know, if anything goes wrong, at least I've put in a lap. So a little bit better off the line there than practice, but still kind of lazy turning into that corner. And yeah, we're gonna pull into the first corner here. Everything's looking nicely. We're actually kind of right on the racing line, which is strange for me because I'm really not great at this track. But of course, it missed the apex there. And again here, actually we go wide, but I'm able to pull it in and keep the momentum going. So I feel like it's sort of still in that, you know, decent banker lap sort of area. We do lock up a little bit going into the hairpin there, but again, momentum's going, so I'm still comfortable with this lap. I'm just gonna keep going and see what happens. And then again, right here, just will not pull into the corner like I'm asking the car to. And you might see later on that's gonna be kind of a ongoing issue. But so far everything else, you know, looks relatively clean. Nice braking there into the hairpin. Oh, a little snap of oversteer there going into the final corner before the back straight, and I missed that apex again as well. But other than that, I kept the momentum going as still, so, you know, this is typical of a lap you'd find me doing during the race. So I felt like this was relatively representative. We're gonna break into the last chicane here, and I think we get it nicely pulled in this time. A little slow off the line though, and now we gotta just try to make sure the lap is finished, because it is a relatively balanced lap there. A few mistakes, but we bring it in with a 1:35.6, and yeah, I don't think that's particularly quick, but it's especially not quick today, that's for sure. We're only P21, so we gotta get ourselves pulled in quick to the garage to get ourselves out on the soft tires before the end of the practice session. And so maybe we'll skip ahead to see you in the garage. All right, folks, we're just pulling in. And I'm noticing there that we ran out of fuel. Thanks. And if you notice they're pulling into the pit lane there, I had a little bit of a lockup before I was able to turn in. I suggest you remember that for the future. But yeah, I was in a big rush to sort of get it in after I lost fuel. I didn't have enough time, so I kind of got stuck just with the banker lap. And yeah, as you can see, I ended up dead last on the mediums. Never got a chance to get out on the softs, so that's a mistake. Number 1, we're on to the sprint race now. And we're starting from the back here. We get a really good start, actually, compared to our teammate. We're going to pull along Jarno Opmir. I'm not sure how to go about this. I want to dive on the inside, but I want to keep it clean. And, oh, it's a bit of a risk, but there's some real estate on the table, so I pull in a little bit. There's a little bit more, actually. So I pull in a little bit more. Now I'm going to see if I can't get a little more aggressive around the outside and cover a few more positions. I do manage to get myself through into P14. Hulkenberg has a moment in front of me. I move over. I'm glad that Piastri was able to avoid us. That would have been my fault. Now I'm trying to get around the outside of Verstappen here. Nothing doing. And well, this has been an interesting open to the race, that's for sure. P13. If we have some pace here, then maybe we can score a couple points. Of course, you need to get to P8 for that, so yeah, just trying to settle in here now, see if we can't pick and choose our battles. It looks like Verstappen's going to be on the attack ahead, so maybe he'll spit Bortoletto back down towards us that we can have a go. But yeah, just trying to settle in here and see what we can make of this. Alright guys, we are skipping ahead to lap 9 because, as you can see, not much has changed. Our position... Thanks, Jeff. Our position has changed, of course, but nothing, no real reason for it other than Hamilton DNF'd on lap 5, Antonelli DNF'd on lap 7, and Gasly actually pitted to retire on lap 8. So we're promoted by default, but have not been able to make any actual inroads ourselves. And actually, we're under attack here from Piastri, which is gonna cause us an issue, actually, on the exit, because we're already pretty slow in this car with the low downforce out of these exits. But with Piastri attacking and us having to defend, he's gotten quite a gap on us now. And of course, we are desperate for that DRS. We haven't been able to make any inroads, so we're not as quick as we'd like to be. I am desperate here to try to catch up and grab Stoll's DRS. We brake super late into the hairpin. I pull it in early. I'm trying to get it, even shorten the distance to get that line before to get that second, under the second DRS. I'm all mixed up here. I'm trying to get the DRS going, and it turns out, of course, all for naught. I did not get the DRS, trying to help. I'm gonna dump. Exactly, even I was not sure if I should have got that or not, and I ended up having to concede the session. But yeah, we're gonna bring home the race in P11 here. Sorry, I'm quite mixed up over that. I really still wish I was able to defend from that a little bit better than that, but you know P11. What? Yeah, P11 from P22. I'll take that. At this point, I'm feeling pretty good. This went well. We've got pace. You know, I'm feeling pretty optimistic at this point, actually, for the full race. It's, you know, P11 to P22. So, you know, things were feeling good at this point. Of course, we had that mistake in sprint qualifying, which is making me wonder how far we could have even gotten.
Welcome along to Shanghai, ladies and gentlemen, where it's Chinese Grand Prix weekend. But before we can race, we need to qualify. And who's going to take that coveted pole position? How will our grid line up? We're about to find out. Welcome to qualifying.
Thanks for that, Crofty. Yep, so, of course, I'm driving as Brandon Lee. And we're moving into the actual qualifying for the Grand Prix now. And as you can see, I've actually lowered the wings even more now. because, you know, I could not make any inroads on the sprint qualifying. You saw there I skipped all the way to the end because there really was nothing happening. I could not make anything happen. I was under attack the entire time, so my solution was to try to get more straight line speed, and to do that was to lower the front wing, lower the rear wing a little bit. I think I even might have adjusted the tire pressures a little bit. I can't remember, but yep, we're going out. This time we have 2 sets of softs, so we're gonna start on a set of softs. We've got the tires nice and warmed up now. Here we go for our first banker lap. And again, still same approach as last time. Banker lap mentality, so
God.
yeah, I really wanted to make this count, but I just realized that my DRS actually had been closed for half of that straight. And trying to make up for it with the accelerator a little bit early there pushes me wide. And we're all over the place, but I do get the front end pulled in a little bit there on the exit, so again, I'm feeling kind of deceptively encouraged that this is still banker lap mentality. I got it stopped there in the hairpin, pulled in nicely over the apex. We're using all the track on the outside there, coming all the way into these swooping corners. They're so much fun. I'm not good at China at the track, but you know, I do love it. And this sector, obviously, as you can see, is just so messy for me, though. You know, again, let me know in the chat if you guys have any advice of what I'm doing wrong there. Braking hard into the hairpin there. The slow chicane before the long back straight. I'm having trouble getting the car pulled in, but I do manage to get it pulled in, and so far it's been relatively uneventful banker lap, other than a couple mistakes. But we kept our momentum up, so I'm feeling like this is gonna be half okay. And I even pull in the apex there on the end of the straight, and we gotta throw that car into the last corner. This is actually probably the best iteration we've done that, and it actually brings us to P17. But I'm realizing the time and what happened in sprint qualifying, so I gotta get a move on. So here we are, trying to race ourselves back into the garage. We've only got 3 minutes. We've run out of fuel, so I'm doing everything I can to get myself into the garage as soon as possible. I'm using the juice, and I'm getting up to the corner. I'm gonna slam on the brakes. Oh! And I almost put the car in the wall. And unfortunately, the tires were a little too hot. And, well, just wanted to keep it real with you guys. That's how the cookie crumbled for this qualifying session. So it's not been a great... It's turning into be kind of another nightmare weekend, actually. Qualifying P19, you know, it's still not the worst, but it really makes me wonder where it could have got, you know, if I didn't make those mistakes. Anyways, on to the race now.
The Chinese Grand Prix then is upon us once again. It's a race that saw Michael Schumacher claim his final Formula One victory in 2006, as well as Red Bull's first win with Sebastian Vettel in 2009. There's no doubt there's plenty more drama to come here in Shanghai. We start a lap here at Shanghai with the long, difficult right-handers of turns 1 and 2, the first of 16 corners that make up this 3.3-mile circuit. The incredibly long back straight provides the best passing opportunity of the lap, with speeds in excess of 200 miles per hour before we head into the braking zone of turn 14. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Piastri, Tsunoda, Nico Hülkenberg, and Hadjar, Bortoleto, Stroll, Sainz, and Lando Norris, Gasly, Fernando Alonso, Alex Albon, and Antonelli, Behrman, Lawson, Brendan Lee, and Esteban Ocon, Opmeer, Colapinto, Russell, and Lewis Hamilton rounds off the grid.
All right, guys. We're now at the end of the formation lap. of the Grand Prix in China. And, you know, I've spent this lap trying to warm up the tires, but I wanted to stay with the AI and have that immersive experience. Of course, it makes it very difficult to warm up the tires properly, but it's so much fun. So, just getting ourselves parked here. We're in P17, which is, you know, not great. Better than last, though. Maybe we can make something of it. And here we go. And it's lights out and away we go. We're a little bit slow off the start, but we do get our tires to bear in and pull alongside Lawson and Ocon. We're kind of held up by Behrman around the outside, and we're going to start to try to get around the outside. The wing actually digs into the air a little bit and gives us the grip just to pull around the outside and sneak in there beside Gasly and pull ahead. We have a little bit of a wiggle on the outside, but it gives us access to P11. This is an amazing start. And we're going to keep pushing as far as we can go. I'm going to try to have a little bit of a peak, but I'm not sure what to do here. I'm going to try to go for the switchback, but Gasly's there on the inside, so I'm going to be careful of that. And now I'm thinking maybe I can pull around Sainz and follow Norris through, but oh, the dirty air followed by the lack of downforce on the front end just won't let me pull the front end in. And so it looks like we might be kind of stuck here for a second, but we've got ourselves up into P11. So, you know, it's not the worst side. I'm wondering if I can't go for a little peek. Sainz kept the door open a little bit. It was probably a bit of a desperate move, but desperate times, as they say. I'm fighting for that 1 point. I know my car is going to struggle to be able to get up into P10 or further, so I'm remembering the sprint race as well. I couldn't make any inroads, so I really felt desperately in need of getting that point position. And also they're gonna Constantine effect into this final hairpin. So I thought, you know, might as well go for it. I got myself into P10, and then there's a moment almost at the end of the first lap with Norris. Almost put my front wing into his rear. Somehow managed to avoid it. And I feel like at this point, you know, I might be able to steal a couple more points here. There's a group of cars ahead of us bunched up. Norris, I know, is going to be faster, so you know, he's if we can stay along with Norris, he's going to be fighting along with them, and you know, maybe spitting them back towards us for some free points. So if I could just kind of get myself in the mix here. I tried to switch back on Norris, but even on those hards, he's so fast off the line in that McLaren. So it's looking like we might be settling in here for a little bit. Yeah, I'm just trying to manage the car, manage the tires, figure out where I can go from here. Should I be on the attack? And we've skipped ahead now to lap 4. There was nothing really doing. Norris has managed to get ahead and start leading the group ahead, but you can see he's kind of forced a couple cars back. We've managed well to stay in P10. I find a little bit of an access point there on the right side and the outside of Hajar, sorry. But nothing doing. I think maybe I can go down the inside here. If I really brake hard, I go for it. I lock up a little bit, but I managed to get the move done. And up into P9 we go. Yeah, it was a real struggle. I mean, looking back, it looks relatively simple, but this is, you know, with the downforce that it is and my, you know, lack of talent, this is on the limit for me. All right, moving along to lap 6 here, and you can see nothing's really changed much, especially me having some struggle through this sector, just not going well. But anyway, nothing really has changed too much until we have a
what happened?
Bit of a moment. And that gives me an opportunity to sort of reset.
Undercut.
And yeah, we like I mentioned, I've got the 2 hards, so actually I'm feeling like this is optimistic. We get another start. We're in P9. We've got 2 sets of hards that'll keep our pace with us, and we're off the line pretty good. Not as good as I'd like, but I'm able to get on the inside of everybody. I'm going to try to have a dive in, and it's still just much like the sprint race, just not feeling safe about it.
Why are they asking me to change strategies?
Yeah, of course, my team seems to be learning things from Ferrari here and messaging me in the most crucial moments of the race, but, you know, unfortunately wasn't able to make too much of an inroad. I'm really desperate for it, so I think I can just lunge down the inside of Stroll, and it actually ends up being quite a nice overtake. A little bit desperate, but again, haven't been able to make inroads during the race, so anything I can take, I'll take. And yeah, we've settled in, moving along to lap 9 now. And everything's been kind of going smoothly up until this sector again. I have a moment. I go wide, and that's invited Stroll all the way in. And I'm really pushing now to try to grab just desperately that DRS from Bortoletto ahead. But nothing doing, of course. Trying to get the power down, of course, but you know, that's not been my strong suit on this corner, especially with the low downforce. It's really hard. And even with the low downforce, I'm really constantly under attack on these straights. I'm gonna have to concede the position from Stroll. I'm gonna try to keep Ocon on the outside. Of course, Hadjar is trying to enter the conversation as well. Maybe I can get Stroll back on this straight coming up, but I'm noticing with all the defense, I've only got 5%-ish left in the tank. I'm desperate to try to get around him. Maybe I can dive down on the inside, but it's not gonna happen. I'm realizing, I don't have the grip to take a risk here. I do have 2 points, so let's try to maybe survive here, build up some energy, get Stroll back later on. He does have a moment there that's invited us back. We've got 20% battery now from that turn. We're gonna turn it on. We're gonna push it. I'm gonna dive down the inside, but he makes a little bit of a defensive move that just honestly threw me for a total loop, and I just keep thinking about the 2 points I've got right now in P9. I want to hold on to that and make a clean overtake down the straight, but of course we enter this sector where I've been struggling. I'm under attack from Ocon now, unfortunately, and that's allowed Stroll to pull away. Again, I'm just using all my battery here. I'm desperate to try to get up to Stroll and get in that DRS. I think I managed, but I'm not sure. And yeah, moving on to lap 11, I did manage to get the DRS. I've been able to manage this so far, but again, here comes this sector, and I think I'm gonna have another moment. Yeah, just a little bit slow on the turn in there, a little bit slow on this corner as well. Having just a heck of a time trying to get the power down, and then again, another moment going into this chicane. We're all over the place trying to get the power down, but they're overheated now, and this is really not going well. I'm desperate to hold on to these points. I know I'm probably gonna lose one to Ocon here, but if I can manage to hold on just one more lap, maybe I can tie up some battery for later. We could end up going almost 3 wide, but Sainz backs out at the last minute. Or sorry, Hadjar. Of course, Sainz involved there as well. Managed to hold on to P9 somehow. I just took the opportunity, and I'm very lucky to have it until Ocon decides, you know what, I've got some energy left. You guys have been battling it out. And so, yep. All right, moving on to lap 13 now. I've been able to hold on to Ocon's DRS, who's been able to hold on to Stroll's DRS, and that's keeping me in contention to P10, which is a point, and desperate for a points finish. Try to get at least 1 point every race is sort of my usual goal, and I have a big kind of lock-up trying to just desperately hold on to DRS.
Oh my god.
And as you can see, it overheats the tires. It causes me to have another shot of oversteer going into that back straight. I'm already a week off this corner, so yep, we lose a position to Hadjar, and of course we're under threat from Gasly. Moving on to lap 14 here. We've really tried to just settle in, and as you can see, I've got no energy, but I'm quite close to Stroll, so I'm wondering if I can't get a peek, or if he makes a mistake. Actually, he leaves the door open a little bit. It's free real estate, which I'm going to take any opportunity I can get, leaving enough room on the inside. And I'm going to just try to pull the front end around and pull ourselves through this corner, and we do get ahead. And we're just trying to fly along here, catch up to Hajar. We're desperate, still desperate for DRS. We're just trying to get some power down out of these corners, but the low downforce is really making it difficult. And managed to survive. Kept ourselves together all the way up to P10 still. Lap 16. I'm gonna decide to pit. Very hesitant there. After what happened in qualifying, I want to be very mindful of that. Also don't want to get a penalty here, so I take that pretty conservative. And at this point I'm thinking, we have a chance of getting some points here, especially if we're doing an undercut going onto the hards.
Oh.
We pull in. I'm a little bit late, but at the end of the day, we're a new team. We're still learning, so I'm a new driver. I'm still learning, so here we go. Trying to get out, trying to get these tires warmed up, trying to get a feel for what's going on here, and desperately want to get the laps in here, get the tires warmed up, and get the laps in so that we can get this undercut. And unfortunately, I start driving the overdriving the car a little bit. Sorry, and that's not going to go well with the tires. But moving on to lap 19, you can see, we've passed Hajar. We've got Ocon. And we're going to end up ahead of Sainz with Hajar and Gasly. We've maintained P10. I'm trying to get the front end to pull in still. It feels like I can kind of get the car around in clean air, but I'm still overdriving, and I have another moment, and now I'm under pressure from Hajar. Hajar's thinking he's got an opportunity. I'm able to hold him off, though. These tires really need to come up to temperature as soon as possible. We're already down to 12% battery life, tire wear. It's getting late in the evening here. But, yeah, I'm noticing that Ocon is still 2 seconds ahead. We're not going to have DRS down this straight. And so, yeah, I'm trying my best to just keep our distance from Hajar, try to pull away as fast as I can, as far as I can. Try to minimize this straight here. He's going to have DRS, ERS, the whole lineup, and his tires are a lap younger. So, yeah, I'm desperately trying to keep the power down, use all that power down this straight and defend. Trying to hold on to this position. It's our only points position. We're also trying to catch Ocon ahead as well. That DRS will keep us in contention for this P10, this single point. And, yeah, we're still under threat from Hajar. Of course, Colapento's having a moment. And, yeah, we're going to end up losing it to Hajar, who's, he's got the faster car. And Yuki Tsunoda, of course, unfortunately, is going to retire at lap 21. But, yeah, I'm thinking Hajar is actually not a bad situation to have in front of us, because, he can pull me along with DRS, and we can kind of get some protection for this P9 now after everybody's pit and Yuki had that DNF. So, actually having Hajar in front of us, I think is a good thing. And I thought, if I can hold on to him long enough, I could probably save up some tires, save up some battery, and make a move later on in the race, or maybe the last couple races. But we're constantly under threat from Gasly, so I'm going to actually try to pull ahead. My tires are, in spec now. I'm trying to get around him, see if I can get ahead of him and pull away from him, especially after the first straight when we're in the slower speed sections. Usually I feel I can pull away, but As you know, I've been mentioning, I've actually got quite low downforce, so that was not my advantage. And yeah, moving on to lap 24 here, you can see Hajar has not gone anywhere. And remembering, he's got the faster car, he's got the faster straight line speed, he's got the younger tires. I do have some energy for defense here, but I'm also recognizing, you know, the more I battle here, the more I'm gonna lose out. So I'm trying not to freak out, I'm trying to be quick, but of course there you see I had a moment again. And I'm just driving all over the place right now, just overdriving the car. It's just, these are the mistakes that really, as you can see right now, are causing me issues. I'm gonna let Hajar go by. I'm gonna go down the inside of Gasly and try to defend for this P9. If I can't maintain that P8, we'll keep the strategy the same and just let Hajar stay ahead and try to maintain this P9 position. But again, just so slow in the straights and so slow overall. It's just the pace is just not quite there overall. And so yeah, skipping ahead to the end of lap 25 now. Gasly is threatening to take P9 away. He goes down the inside. I try to leave him room on the outside, keep my car ahead. And you know, I've got about 30% battery now, and I'm pretty close to Hajar, so I'm thinking, you know, maybe I can have a little peek going into turn 1. I'm gonna give it all I've got to go down the inside, and we move up. Maybe now I've got myself under control, but again, the front end just won't. It just won't dig into the air. It won't dig into the track, and I'm able to keep the position, but it's just not fast enough. I can't get ahead of Hajar. I can't get away. In fact, he's gonna have another little look around the outside going into the hairpin there. And I'm able to defend. I'm thinking maybe I can get away now. I've got 40%. I'm using all this track. I'm desperately trying to get ahead, pull away, get out of that DRS, and maybe maintain this P8 would be great. Brand new team, second race of the season. But again, we go wide in this sector. It's just not my cup of tea. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Please let me know in the comments if you know. I am able to get the car slowed down into the chicane before the back straight, of course. I'm able to pull the car in a little bit. I just can't get that front end in. And I've got some battery. I'm gonna give it all I've got here, but again, I know there's the last lap coming up, and there's nothing really I can do other than let Hajar go if I want to have a shot at a P8. But unfortunately, you know, with Gasly's fresher tires, that's all she wrote. Wasn't able to make an inroad, so yeah, as you can see, last lap, we're bringing it home in P9, but you know, hey, it's 2 points. It's better than last race. And of course, going P17 to P9, our teammate Jarno Opmeer down in P21. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around. Next episode will be interesting. You know, don't forget to come back and take a peek and see what's going on. Let me know in the comments if you have any ideas how to improve this experiment, this racing journal that I'm trying to create here, as awkward as it might be. Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate any likes and comments. It really would mean a lot, so that I can learn. And yeah. Peace, guys.